the video where I tell all of you guys how our trip to Vermont went terribly. And you might be wondering, oh, aren't you staying at Vermont? You know, you said you'd be gone for a couple days. That's what I thought too. That's especially what I thought when I made the video immediately before our trip, to Vermont, or at least a couple hours before. And then, I released it while we were on the road. We expected to just drive, take a 2-hour drive to Vermont. It'd be all fine. We'd be staying in the cabin. It'd be nice. And I was very wrong because we ran into so many problems. And it all started off with the car that we were driving. It was all fine at first. I was actually in the car, like I said, posting the video while driving there because I thought we were going on a smooth drive. And then we noticed the car started to smoke, specifically somewhere at the front of the hood. So we need to find out where to go in order to check the hood because we were on some sort of freeway, so we need to find a place to park. And in panic, my mother happened to park somewhere that ended up being on a one-way place, which means she could only drive forward, which was the only way that we shouldn't have gone because that's not where Vermont is at all. So after we got out, we had to deal with that later. She checked the hood and it had something to do with the tire or the brakes. Notably, this happened when the car started, but it started to drive instead of just turning on because we could put on the AC, we put on the radio, we put on all that stuff. But driving is a no-no. So, we had to call people up, see what we could do, and we ended up getting someone to call, being a tow trucker. And by a tow trucker, I mean someone who could tow us away to the nearest garage. But here's the thing. When we called them up, and they said, oh, we can tow them away to the nearest garage, and I was like, okay, we have 3 people here. Me, in the perspective of my mother. There's me, and my 2 kids. And he said, oh no, we can only carry up to 2 people. And then I'm just sitting there like, one of us is gonna be stranded. And that was almost the case, but we had to call some people around the area of taxi services, which, scarily enough, one of them said they couldn't even go to the area we was because it was so busy. But luckily, the second one that we called offered it kindly, and it was very good. Now, with all that being said, the tow truck arrived. They were about to put the car on, but they waited for the taxi, which shout-outs to them because that was very nice. I don't think there's other people who have that type of patience, but waiting for the taxi is just very kind. But they waited for the taxi. Me and my brother got on the taxi, and my mother went, in the tow truck. The car got, put on the thing, and then we drove to the garage. And then this is where another problem came in after we arrived. We wanted to pay him, but we didn't have an ATM around. And the only way we could have done it, I think it's just called a fruit fly. Probably not. But the thing is, we didn't have much pocket money on us. The only thing we gave the trucker was something that we had to do online, which is over to the internet, which obviously that makes sense because maybe we can pay with a debit card. But the problem with that was the internet out there was so terrible. There was no internet. We could only usage it by data. But oh my gosh, was that terrible, because my mother tried 3 phones and I have no idea how she got out of that, but I guess eventually it worked, but I don't know, whatever. And we only gave the taxi driver $11 or out of 20, and I'm not sure how that worked either, but apparently we got out of it, which is, thank the Lord we did. And all that happened was we got the car a little bit away from the garage, and we just sat there for an hour trying to figure out what to do. Which we were basically, the main thing we were trying to do is call our uncle, see if we can get somewhere safe, and we'd be fine. And after that, sorry, I think I had a hair in my tongue. For sitting still for an hour, we were starting to get hungry. And we did bring food, but it was all things that should have been cooked and grilled and stuff like that, so that sucked. So we wanted to see if there was a nearby place where we can get food, even fast food. So we drove up a mile, I think a mile or 2, and we found this place. My camera just happened to shut off, but that gave me the opportunity to remember the restaurant's name. It was called Scotty's Restaurant or Scotty's Diner or whatever the place was. But I will tell you, that was the second best thing to happen that day, because the food there was absolutely delicious, and it was half restaurant, half corner store. It was I don't know, any form of restaurant that serves food combined with a little Stewart's or just a corner store of any sort. And honestly, it felt very comfortable. The service there was amazing, and they served chicken, they served burgers, they served salads, soups, and also pie. And plumbing amazing. If I could go back there, if it wasn't so far away, I would really love to go back to that place again. But then the best thing happened. which was the only thing that was better than that restaurant was that our uncle came, and luckily he like tried to figure out what was going on with the car. Yes, he did come to the restaurant, but he didn't order anything to eat because we already ordered. But he just basically told us that it had something to do with the brakes. That's when we really confirmed it. And what we had to do is that we could go back home, but he really just wanted to guide us home. So like, I guess he drove us halfway home. Because he drove, but we followed in our car, which luckily it ran well. But it's hard to explain because I wasn't the one who, was driving. I don't know much about cars, which I probably should research about that if I ever want to get my license. But after doing all that, he told me to occasionally slam on the brakes from time to time, which I don't know what that means or what it has to do with it, but maybe it has something to do with the fixing car. But after, like, he drove us halfway to our house, he then left just, to drive back to his home, which for us would probably be like 30 minutes for us to get to where we parked at the time, and then drive back to our house. But then we finally got home, and oh my gosh, the amount of stress that day is just insane. Like, you couldn't, like, make that day out to be worse. Like, it was so bad, like, I'm stuttering right now, which I usually, I normally do that, but still, that was one of the worst days ever. And I can't even consider it a Vermont trip because we never even reached Vermont. I technically clickbaited you all on unintentionally, absolutely unintentionally, because I fully expected to go to Vermont. But of course that didn't happen. I even, like, stocked, I had 4 videos pre-recorded that I wanted to just freshly upload while I was on the trip because I put a thumbnail, tags, title, description, and all that stuff set up. So that means all I need to do was just pull up my phone, press upload, done. Everything's on set already. But, of course, did not happen. Well, I guess it did happen. I did it with the taking the drive video. But still, that was very unfortunate. But hey, I'm back home, I'm safe, and that's the very least I can, hope for anything. I just wish to, go somewhere and return safe. Which I expect that for everyone, because I just want everyone to be safe in this world, because human life, it is so valuable. It's the most cherished thing anyone can ever have. But, yeah. Content will be returning soon, and by soon I'm probably going to say, it's going to be back to normal. I got some cool videos planned. There's some unboxing stuff I really wanted to do, which I got something special in particular that I'm pointing at over there, which you can't see it, but I'm saving that for a video. But I guess that will be it. I'm not sure when I'll be going to a trip next or whatever, but I will say, let's hope that it doesn't turn out like a bus like last time. It was first Illinois, where like I had to leave early because they were moving or something. Now it was this. Am I ever gonna have a perfect trip? Probably not. There's always gonna be something that goes wrong, but hey, that's just life. You're never gonna expect perfection. But with that being said, hey, I'm back, and I hope you guys enjoy the content that I'm going to be bringing to the future. If you did enjoy this video, then please be sure to leave a like on it, and also share it with your friends for more, update content, or just camera content, I don't know. And if you enjoy my content in general, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel? And also, if you haven't yet, or you want to, then hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button to receive all my notifications on this YouTube channel in the near future. And last but certainly not least, why not hit the bell icon, which I already said that, am I such a pleb? I meant there's merch in the description. Go check that out, and I'm not forcing you to buy anything. I'm not even forcing you to check it out. I'm just saying, I would recommend looking at it because there might be something interesting in the shop that you might be interested in. Okay, but above all else, I will see you entities and guardians in the next video. Hail the Hypenese. I don't know why I did it with one hand. What?